Hey, Jacksonville, winter is the perfect time to start planning for your healthy, pest-free spring lawn with True Green, America's #1 lawn care company. True Green's science-based approach and local expertise will help give your lawn the year-round care it needs to be thick and weed-free. Go to truegreen.com/radio to save 50% on your first service. Just call 866-946-5956 or go to truegreen.com/radio today and get a lawn to be proud of.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Is that Shakespeare?
Nope, it's Geico.
Yeah, that's Shakespeare from one of his unpublished works. Oh, it be not for awakening. Nay, giveth thou the berries. For 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
No, it's from Geico, because they help save people money.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but Geico got it from Shakespeare.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
New Year's resolutions. We've all made them. Mine is the same every year. Eat healthier. The eat part usually works out fine. It's the healthier part I forget about. But not anymore, now that I've found the oh-so-chocolatey Built Bar. Built Bars are low-cal, low-sugar, high-protein, high-fiber. Great for keto. Lose or maintain weight while indulging in a yummy treat. At 130 calories, you'll feel like making a resolution every day. Try all 18 amazing flavors. Get yours at BuiltBar.com.
I'm Amy Lawrence, and I'm up late, always, after hours, hanging out with you on CBS Sports Radio. Check it out, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
About a kid that's never played baseball.
Make sure to listen.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Make sure to listen to the Armchair Quarterbacks. Good enough for us down here in the bayou. Go Tigers and the Armchair Quarterbacks.
It's morning.
Yes, and what a lovely morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For yours,
right.
What was your?
My superstition was that I needed to have maybe a shot and a half before every game.
Of?
Hennessy. What you mean?
I was thinking, yeah, Gatorade. Toradol. I don't know what I was thinking.
Hell no.
And there's a bar right there in the locker room in Seattle. Schneider and Pete Carroll.
My backpack.
Armchair.
CBS Sports Radio.
You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks, CBS Sports Radio, #1 sports station.
Good morning, and this is your Armchair Quarterbacks Sports Flash. Nike has suspended its endorsement deal with Deshaun Watson, and Beats by Dre is ending its sponsorship with Watson as well amid the sexual assault, inappropriate behavior allegations against the Houston Texans quarterback. In a statement, Nike said, quote, "We are deeply concerned by the disturbing allegations and have suspended Deshaun Watson. We will continue to closely monitor the situation, end quote. The NFL has launched an investigation into Watson under its personal conduct policy, and NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy on Tuesday called the allegations against the quarterback deeply disturbing. Tennessee Volunteer freshman Keon Johnson will enter the NBA draft and forego his remaining college eligibility by hiring an agent, he announced on Wednesday. Quote, "Since our season ended, I've spent a lot of time thinking, praying, and consulting with my family and coaches, and I have decided to enter the 2021 NBA draft. I am forever thankful to God for blessing me with talents, surrounding me with a solid support system, and positioning me to make this next big step," unquote. Johnson is considered one of the quickest and most explosive players in the college game in terms of ability to accelerate from a standstill and get off his feet for dunks and blocks. As the season progressed, he started flashing real upside as a ball handler in the pick and roll situations. It's anybody's guess, but Johnson does project as a first rounder. We've got a pretty good slate of games today in Major League Baseball. 1:35, Jake Arrieta versus the Pirates and Tyler Anderson. The Red Sox send Erod to the mound versus Matt Harvey. And the Brewers and Cardinals square off. Corbin Burns versus Adam Wainwright. If you're looking for some offense at 6:37 first pitch, the Angels head to Toronto. Ross Stripling versus Griffin Canning. The tee times are out as the Masters gets going here this morning. Some of the highlighted groups: Ian Poulter tees off at 9 a.m. Eastern. Jason Day at 9:36. Bubba Watson and Brooks Koepka, 10:06 a.m. Sergio Garcia and Webb Simpson at 10:18. And Dustin Johnson, Lee Westwood at 10:30. 10:42, you got Rory McIlroy, John Rahm. And 10:54, Patrick Reed. Fred Couples hits the links at 12:24. Tommy Fleetwood, Phil Mickelson at 1:12. Bryson DeChambeau and Adam Scott at 1:36, with Tony Finau and Justin Thomas at 1:48. And to end the afternoon, Colin Morikawa, Cameron Smith, and Jordan Spieth tee off at 2 p.m. ESPN coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern, but you can see some of the holes on the Plus earlier in the day. And that's your Armchair Quarterback Sports Flash. Stay tuned for more of the Armchair Quarterbacks radio show and YouTube Live. Please like, subscribe, and share our show today. The Armchair Quarterbacks, your first choice for sports talk live from the First Coast. Good morning. It's time to wake up, y'all. You're listening to the Armchair Quarterback Show. We're here weekdays on CBS Radio, YouTube Live, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. The Armchair Quarterback Show, your first choice for Southern Sports Talk. Good morning, Mr. Justin Waller.
Good morning. I don't know much, but I know one thing. It's been exactly 11 years since April 8th has fallen on a Master Thursdays. Happy birthday to my son and happy Masters Day to everybody out there. Enjoy the tournament.
Hi, I'm Mac McGee, and I don't know much, but I know one thing. Whew, it sure was nice to get off that schneid and get that doubleheader, baby. Oh, man. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't easy or scripted, but we'll take it. You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks.
Bees everywhere! God, they're huge! They're ripping my flesh off!
Son, roll around. Jamie, roll around on the ground.
Forget that! I'm starting to swell up! Save yourself! Don't be the hero!
Frank, I'm allergic to bees. Me too.
They're huge and they sting crazy!
We'll come back later and check on you. Yeah, I don't want...
Save yourself! Your firearms are useless against them!
Holy shnikes, it worked.
Armchair.
Community Access Channel.
He's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks. The all-American man.
Hey, howdy, hi, top Top of the morning to you. Welcome to the Armchair Quarterback Radio Show. I'm Mac McGee, sitting next to Justin Waller. Justin, how the hell are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing great, Mac. This is a special day for our household. Like I said, this is reminds me of being in the hospital 11 years ago when my son came into this world. So very special. And I had to look it up. It's been exactly 11 years since that April 8th has been the Masters kickoff Thursday. So looks like every 11 years we'll have this luxury, hopefully.
Well, it'll happen randomly. It really falls how the what do you call it? The leap year falls is
right. But I mean, it's rolling right back around in 11 years. It'll be the same over the next decade. Okay, so gotcha. it'll be.
Gotcha. So happy first birthday to little man. So you know,
yeah,
he will not age at all. That'll be.
This is his first Masters birthday, so he is 2 now.
This will be his first real birthday. Yeah.
He's going to be highly disappointed when he gets home and he realizes that he hasn't, he's way advanced. He's not even eligible for kindergarten yet, but here goes middle school grade level. Little Doogie Howser over here. But yeah, it's a great day, man. Braves get off the schneid. We get not 1 W, but 2. I felt like LeBron James. I was like, not 1, not 2. Oh, there's only 2 doubleheaders. Thought the way things were going, we might be able to sneak out 3 or 4.
We got the Masters today. That's topic number 1. And with the Masters rolling in, then now look, I guess they are actually going to give you an opportunity to watch this on the Plus. And I'm seeing that there's an option to watch it on the CBS Sports app and Paramount Plus too. I'm not really sure what that all entails if you have to pay for it. Usually things on the CBS Sports app are free, but the Paramount Plus, that might be some kind of a subscription thing. But I did see that ESPN Plus is going to have like certain holes that they're going to, so you can put it on until the quote unquote real coverage begins on at 3:00 Eastern.
And if you want to die hard, be all into it, I mean, masters.com or the Masters app are both the easiest way to, you can lock in to the featured groups or Amen's Corner, or they have it broke up into certain holes, but they do have the exclusive coverage until the TV broadcasts come out.
ESPN Plus as well. ESPN Plus begins at 9 a.m. Eastern, I saw. So no longer do they have the exclusive coverage, it looks like. I guess they've sold it to ESPN Plus, but there's something being shown on the Paramount and the now that may be just what the typical audience would see anyways, except ESPN's doing the first 2 weeks, first 2 days. So that commercial I just saw maybe talking about the weekend. I don't know. I just know that ESPN Plus has Amen's Corner and all that kind of stuff that they got. I saw it on the internet yesterday, because I was wondering again. I was like, are we going to be sitting here stuck waiting until 3:00 to see what the hell's going on? I hate that live at the Masters and you flip over whatever channel, they all do it. ESPN Golf Channel. And all you see is a bunch of doofuses talking, and you see golfers walking back and forth behind them. And they're like, okay, well, up you and here's the score. And you're like, if you would just pivot the camera just a little bit, dude, I can see this. All right. So I guess those days are over where less is more. But anyways, the tee times, that's the important thing, the tee times. And which one's got your fancy?
I am pulling them up. I have not broken down and seen them going off yet this morning. You have them in front of you?
Yeah, I got them in front of 1 second. Hold on. I got some people commenting to us. Predictions are coming up here in a second, though. We're gonna wait till Joey drops in at the bottom of the hour, so we can do the projections. Predictions. So we're not so. Oh, I had it. Give me a second. What the hell happened to it? All right, talk or something, buddy. I gotta find them. I
I
thought you were
love
going
when
to
this.
come. I thought you were going to come prepared. I thought I was prepared, and I guess I closed the damn screen out while I was talking to everybody else.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now I have these pairings as of 8 a.m. Michael Thompson, Hudson Swafford going on. Let me go to the more relevant ones. Nobody cares about that.
I got to
Looks
come
like
here in one. All right, here we go. All right, organized and ready to roll. You got the. Well, I had one that had the ones that were a little more interesting. It's not till 10 o'clock until they get really interesting. You got Bubba Watson and Brooks Koepka at 10:06 a.m., which ought to be a really popular one, I would think, wouldn't you? And then on top of that, you've got Dustin Johnson going at 10:30. That's huge. Rory McIlroy and John Rahm at 10:42 a.m. I'm hoping that the one of these are going to be a featured pair. You'd think Dustin Johnson, Lee Westwood would be, just because Johnson's the defending champion, but Rahm and McIlroy would bring a lot of eyeballs to the table, as well as Watson and Koepka. You know, these first tee times, Justin, I wish they would put the elites all together. I'm not saying all in one, but I'm saying have one where it's nothing but elite. Have a couple where it's nothing but elite, so you're just watching that pair if you want to. Because no offense to him, but no one gives a damn about Victor Hovland. Okay, no one knows who he is. Nobody cares. I mean, golf fans do, but I'm saying your typical average Joe that you know that pulls up and watches. Other ones jump out at you. I see Vijay Singh is playing this year. I wasn't sure if he was still going to play or not. He's getting up
Patrick
there.
Reed, Paul Casey at 10:54 is one interesting to watch. Now I'm still digging through later in the day.
Fleetwood at 112. That's a good one. And Jordan Spieth will not tee off till 2. You got Tony Finau and Justin Thomas at 148.
And you got Morikawa in that Spieth one as well, so that one's interesting.
See, I would have liked to have seen. Look, no offense to Cameron Smith, but I would have liked to have seen Finau in that group with Spieth and Morikawa, or Justin Thomas. Either way, you know, give us some. Don't feel like you have to put the Shlomo in there with the heavy hitters. You got Adam Scott and Bryson DeChambeau going at 136, but Max Ahoma is teeing off with them as well. That guy could have teed off at 8 o'clock this morning.
I think one that'll be fun will be the 1248. Probably one of the most competitive is the Lowry, Rose, and Kuchar. I like that trifecta right there.
Which one?
1248. You've got Shane Lowry, Justin Rose, and Matt Kuchar. That could be fun to watch and competitive back and forth. It's like the Rahm and McIlroy pairing, but you get that because they've got Schauffele in there as well. So I think that threesome could be interesting all the way around. Whereas some of these, like you've alluded to, you know, you've got two big names and then it just falls off completely. The Watson, the Koepka, and then you fall off to Hovland. It's just
some of the ones that are highlighted. This is what I thought I thought I'd close this window out. I finally found it. The ones that are highlighted are the 10:06 one with Bubba, the Brooks Koepka one, as what. Oh, I guess they're projecting when they think they might end. Okay, so that's stupid. Thanks a lot, Bleacher Report. But Dustin Johnson at 10:30. Rahm and McIlroy 1042, like we talked about. You've got man, I'll tell you one thing I don't like about the Bleacher Report. I don't even use it anymore. But
slideshowing you.
My God, dude, they're every freaking you can't move down the screen without an ad, you know, crapping in your face. You know, it's bad enough that the thing's written by like some freshman in high school who's just, you know, bored during homeroom and he's writing a quick, you know, this is my thoughts on Major League Baseball or whatever. But the fact that they've got like ads over ads over ads, it's ridiculous. Spieth and Cameron were the other ones, and of course the Finau Justin Thompson. So you've got essentially 6 really good pairings, 3 in the morning, 3 late afternoon to carry you through. By the time ESPN picks up the coverage at 3 o'clock Eastern, where you'll get full coverage, you'll be looking at, you know, the DeChambeau, Finau, Spieth, Colin Morikawa, all those guys will be ready to roll. So it's looking good, man. It looks like that the weather's really good today too, which is huge. And the other thing would be how the course will play. It's going to be much different than it was in November, so it should play more towards the Masters as it's intended to be played in April, right? So I'm expecting fairly low scores today because it looks like it was kind of damp yesterday. So I could think some fairly low scores today, and you need to take advantage because going into the weekend, if you don't take advantage of that, you could be hurting because usually on the weekends when they tighten up the greens a little bit, they put the pin placement a little more difficult, and guys that don't get off to a hot start at the Masters usually don't fare well. I know Tiger won't win. I know that much. What's up with
shame,
him?
Man?
What's up with him going 83 and a 45?
He was running late.
I bet that's the tip of the iceberg on that one. I bet there's hooker lipstick and whiskey bottles rolling around the car. Oh my God. Yeah, they
cleared him of everything. I think we would have heard about that if it come out. I mean, he was completely sober, just speeding. What about he hit the tree at 75 mile an hour? That's the larger number. Hit that tree at 75 mile an hour, and he was running wide open.
Well, there were some details that were not released. The California, I think it was California's State Patrol that said they wouldn't release certain things. So you believe what you want to believe, essentially. But 75 miles an hour, he's lucky he's alive, to be honest with you. That's just, man, I guys like that with all the money in the world, and they're still seeking, some kind of an adrenaline rush. I hope we see him back next year.
Well, they were recording. He wasn't on an adrenaline rush. They were doing a recording for some sort of, I don't know if it was a documentary or a film, or it had something. Him and the film crew left the hotel and he was late. He was racing to get there. I mean, this wasn't a Paul Walker riding. Wasn't Paul Walker flying down the road in a Porsche?
Gonna wait on Tiger Woods. Like, that's it. We give him 2 more minutes and we're gone. That's it. I don't know who this Eldridge thinks he is. No, you're waiting on Tiger Woods.
I'm not saying they wouldn't want him. I'm just saying it wasn't thrill seeking that led to this.
Well, maybe. I know you're a big Tiger fan, so we'll leave it at that.
Well, I mean, whether I am or not, I'm going with what the Highway Patrol released and said. And
right, but they said that they would not release certain parts.
Well, medical reasons, they're not gonna release certain issues. So we don't know if he was going 84.
We don't know a lot.
The reason he lost controls because he had a seizure, he blacked out. I mean, there's just certain things that they're protected legally in the medical that they can't.
I mean, we don't know a lot of things exactly, so that's kind of the point. But
I don't think it's.
He's got to know. He's got to know that he's Tiger Woods. They're going to wait on him. So he was. You say what you want, but the average Joe is not going to go 85 miles an hour in a 45 just because he's running a few minutes late. He calls, "Hey, dude, I'm running late. My bad. Deal with it. Me going 85 in this 45 is only going to save me like 2 to 3 minutes, and that's not worth killing me or somebody." He's lucky he didn't hit somebody, a pedestrian, whatever. So, anyhow, any way you look at it, it was a terrible job. But we will move on from that because it is time to talk a little baseball, and we will do our Masters predictions here at the bottom of the hour. So you kind of alluded to it earlier, Justin. Real quick, I do want to get into what's happening because there's some interesting tidbits in what's happening, and I kind of want to get your take on it because these are some good ones. First of all, for everyone that was panicking about Major League Baseball and what they did with the All-Star game, it appears that Rob Manfred, like I talked about yesterday, was going as a lone wolf. He did not discuss any of the particulars with any of the owners. They didn't even know there was going to be any kind of decision made, especially that early. So they are really ticked. He's in hot water. And then it came out last night that he was in talks with people or advisors of LeBron James, Stacey Abrams, a bunch of others that are in the political scheme. And so Major League Baseball owners are ticked. And I do expect that you're going to get the Major League Baseball All-Star game back in Atlanta very, very soon. They won't do an about a 180 because it's going to look like a clown show at that point, right? They'll move it to the next one that is available. I want to say 23 or 24 has not been determined yet, but I'm not sure on that. Justin, Caitlyn Jenner may be running for governor of California. Caitlyn Jenner, yes, Bruce Jenner, might be running for governor of California. And I mean, it's not like Caitlyn could do any worse than what's currently going on there, but I found that interesting. Wouldn't that be a fun a fun story to follow if Caitlyn actually runs for it? Real quick on your scoreboard, the Braves win the doubleheader against the Nationals. We already alluded to that. Reds pound the Pirates. I think the Pirates are just going to be absolutely awful this year. I can't get Chad Kuhl off my team fast enough. I picked him up and waiting for the second pickup, and now I'm like, dude, I got to get it. That dude's costing me points being on my bench. I mean, being on my team. Minnesota, 3-2 winners over Detroit. Kansas City loses to Cleveland 4-2. Jose Ramirez hit 2 bombs. The Red Sox are playing pretty good, Justin. They win again 9-2 against the Rays. And Tampa Bay 2-1 winners over Toronto. The Brewers beat the Cubs. I guess Woodruff had a no-hitter going into the 6th inning. Don't you have him in fantasy?
I do.
Did he end up scoring good points for you? Or did it get canceled out because it went to extra innings?
I hadn't even looked it up and checked it last night. I fell asleep and haven't set my lineup this morning.
Gotcha. Well, you got plenty of time. Philly and the Mets play. Philly beat the Mets 8-2. Seattle beat the White Sox. You got San Diego losing to San Fran late last night. St. Louis blanks Miami, and Baltimore upends New York. Yankees. The Rockies pound Arizona 8-0. Madison Bumgarner, 5 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
7 innings pitch, 8 Ks, quality start, 21 points in our league.
Ain't too shabby.
I will take it.
Yeah, it's not too shabby at all. I got about that from Flaherty yesterday.
Is Big Red Machine Doug?
Yeah, yes.
That's what I thought. I'm nipping at his heels. We're going to be in dogfight. So I needed that yesterday. Well, he's probably going to edge me out, but that's my week 1 in the dynasty.
Absolute marathon. The 11. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm just like, oh god. I mean, I'm usually exhausted by the end of this first week. I'm like,
I mean, it's like Thursday. We haven't played, and it's already 4:15 to 4:39, and I'm down. But I'm digging in. I was down 80, so we're clawing our way back in. But I got a feeling I'm gonna get thumped this weekend when he gets his second go through.
I guess. Do you have any pickups left?
3 in that league.
Okay.
I'm kind of holding them, just scouring as we go, picking here or there. So actually, I've got 2. I made a pickup earlier in the week for a guy that went early that I'm gonna get his second go around.
By the way, did you know that your camera was off?
Yes, I did. I was checking my fantasy lineup.
Oh, okay. My bad. I looked over. I was like, uh-oh. Waller's pulling a McGee over here. Just I'll go for 20 minutes.
I was having some computer issues the past 2 days, so I've went mobile. It seems to be working smoother, but I also use I don't know. I save things on my phone throughout the day instead of my laptop. So now I'm like, well, we got to think out a better process here. But yeah, sorry, got everything all on one today.
The Braves yesterday pulling off that sweep of the doubleheader. You never would have convinced me we were going to win a doubleheader when Max Fried only goes 2 innings. And we had to face Strasburg in the second game. who, by the way, pitched to Jim. But man, the Panda.
And Noah went toe-to-toe with him.
He did.
Who would have thought that?
And it just, look, is one of those guys, and people who are new to watching Braves baseball, as one of our friends is, who gets overly excited about every single play that, keeps texting us, right? You learn about and that's the fact that he just has not commanded a third pitch yet. So that's why he's a phenomenal reliever or a phenomenal opener or whatever. But once he gets through that lineup the second time, most times than not, he gets lit up. And now, granted, the Nationals don't have the greatest offense in the National League, but it's solid. But he pitched a phenomenal game. He had those two pitches working, and now we get the bad news that Soroka is going to be shut down for 2 weeks. So we're probably at least a month away from seeing him now. And that's bad, because if you can get Soroka back in that starting rotation, then it can be one of your badasses in the back of the bullpen, which is where you need him. We don't, as talented as he is, and the sky is the limit, et cetera, we don't need that dude out there pitching 3 to 4 innings once a week. We need him out there 1 inning a pop about 3 times a week.
We need him out in the bullpen tripping Tomlin so he can't get in the game.
Oof.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you need him to
that
do.
Dude.
And he might need to trip up Smith too, because I don't know. That was one of the most stressful. I guess it would have been the 6th innings yesterday. I wanted to call it the 8th, but the doubleheaders are throwing me off. So I guess it would have been the bottom of the 6th that he tried to close out, and he flirted with blowing a wet in the bed 2 days in a row. Somehow he pulled it off.
That was
it the 7th?
Yeah, because he got the save. And granted, he was going right through the teeth of that lineup. But I'm telling you right now, Juan Soto's got mind control over Debo out there, man. Juan Soto, he's in his head. I'm not gonna say Soto's scared of him. I'm sorry that Will Smith is scared of Soto, because I don't think that's a thing where you'd physically be scared of Juan Soto. But I think he's in his head, because it goes back to what happened last year
when he was warming up.
Yeah, when they got into it, then he famously hit the home run. Then he's running on the bases. Will Smith goes, "Run your bases," and got all pissy ant with it. I don't want to see
music.
I don't want to see Will Smith in the lineup or on the mound at the end of the game if Juan Soto is due up. That's just the way I feel about it. And you want him to be there because he's a lefty.
Well, I mean, I want to see him. I hope throughout this season, and we see it multiple times, because I want him to get over that, because we're going to need it. And I mean, if he's got to put one in a butt cheek, he needs to throw one and just hit him in the butt. I mean, I don't want him head hutting and ear holing the guy, but if he needs to back him off the plate and regain some confidence, hey, brush him back. If you hit him, put him on first.
But some guys just own other guys, and
Sure.
Juan Soto owns Will Smith. I mean, it's just the way it is. Sometimes a pitcher as good as Will Smith is, Soto just sees him well. Now, Soto's a phenomenal hitter, so he shouldn't shock anybody.
Can we say Acuna and Scherzer?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. If I'm trying to close a game down and Juan Soto is up to the plate, I would much rather see Minter up there facing him, because Minter's got that bulldog mentality. And I wouldn't think that he would. If you hit Will Smith well, then Mr. Minter's not going to be your cup of tea, because they're two different styles. They're both lefties, but they're two different styles. Minter goes at you. Smith is more of a finesse pitcher. He's a good finesse pitcher, but he's more of a finesse pitcher. So, I mean, that's just my take on it. I know what you're saying, that you want him to get over it, but it's just like saying, well, Elo's got to get over it. He's got to guard Gordon. Well, not to cost us the game. I don't want him out there.
Dude, we still got to find a true closer. We're
going to find him around July.
I don't feel like we have Melanson. Well, I mean, I know we don't have Melanson, but we still don't have that true closer that we're rolling out every night. I mean, we think, is it Minter? Is it Smith? Is it Matzik? Which one of the three is it going to be? And if Smith has any chance to get his name in there, he's got to get over that against a division rival, because Soto's not going anywhere for a very long time.
we'll have our closer around late July at the trading deadline. Will Smith will be the closer until then. But situationally, I would prefer to see, Minter in their closing against Soto. That's just the way I'm more about matchups. I don't have to have the same guy closing every single day because I'm more about the matchups, and I would rather have your bet. That's one of the reasons why we need, available for the back of the bullpen, because if you have him and Chris Martin, then you've got two really good righties that you can go to and also get.
How did Newton look closing out? I heard I had to drive for the last half of the last doubleheader, so I heard it on the radio. But how did it look?
He looked absolutely phenomenal.
Sweet.
He's and everyone panicking about him in that first weekend. It was all for naught. And I got into it with the guy on Twitter that day about it. I was like, dude, you're panicking. It was after 2 games. He's like, we got to get rid of Jackson. Got to get rid of Nuke. And look, I know we want to get rid of Jackson, but we're kind of stuck with him. He is what he is. He's in a typical.
He's cut his hair and he's throwing strikes. I'll take it.
Yeah. He's in a typical 9-inning game. He's your 6th inning guy. Nothing wrong with that. Not everybody's going to be a flame baller, shutdown closer, but anyways, let's take a quick break because Joey's with us, and we're going to get into the mock draft when we get on the other side of the break. We also got Masters predictions, our win, place, and show. All of that ahead and more next on the Armchair Quarterbacks. Keep it locked in here to CBS Sports Radio and YouTube Live.
Look at me, 92, and I still enjoy swimming and golfing, and biking, all sports.
Whoopee.
That too.
Are you looking for the perfect gift for any sports fan, or just looking to add some stuff to your own man cave? Then head on in to MVP Collectibles at the St. Augustine Outlets Mall. They carry Seminoles, Gators, Bulldogs, Canes, Longhorns, Bama, Buckeyes, Wolverines, Vols, you name it. They have Patriots, Jaguars, Titans, Dolphins, Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Chiefs, whoever you're looking for. Yankees, Red Sox, Cardinals, Braves, whoever you like. The best selection you'll ever find for the sports fan that thinks they have it all. That's MVP Collectibles in the St. Augustine Outlets Mall, Suite 245, right across from the food court in the St. Augustine Outlets Mall. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6. Get your man cave popping today at MVP Collectibles.
We are the Armchair Quarterback Show, your first choice for sports talk live from the First Coast.
Real men of genius. Today we salute you, Mr. Fantasy Football Manager Guy. Every year you assemble your closest friends to prepare for another season in the knockdown, drag-out world of make-believe football. You were born with the one skill every manager needs to play fantasy football. Absolutely no skill playing real football.
Mr. Fantasy Football Man.
Make sure to join the Armchair Quarterbacks right here. You want to win your league? Then listen to the Armchair Quarterbacks. And don't be scared to tap that app. Find the Armchair Quarterbacks app today.
Fantasy football time.
Hey, this party's getting a little too quiet. I think it's time we liven it up with my favorite gift, Mr. Microphone.
Hey, what's that?
Well, you set the dial on your FM radio and testing.
I'm on the radio!
Over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
I got one.
I got one.
I got one.
I got one.
It's practical and great fun for the whole family.
This year, choose a yogurt that's right for you. With 2 grams of sugar per 5.3 ounce serving. Too Good Greek yogurt is too good to be true. So Delicious dairy-free yogurt and Silk yogurt alternatives are delicious plant-based swaps you can enjoy by the spoon or add to recipes. Oikos 000 yogurt and Light and Fit yogurt are tasty, non-fat yogurt options. So many flavors, varieties, and possibilities. Elevate any recipe and your everyday with yogurt. Shop at Target.
Hi, this is Britney Spears.
What up, this Jay-Z.
This is Jennifer Lopez. Armchair.
That's right. I stepped up. She's my friend and she needed help. If I had to, I'd pee on any one of you.
Good morning, CBS Sports Radio, YouTube Live. It's Masters Day, and Joey Ariel is with us. Joey, how the hell are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great. Leaving for Tampa, Florida tonight. So, I'm going to end with Armchair and get on my way here.
You're about 2 months too late, man. The Super Bowl's already been played.
I got the WrestleMania. I got the wrestling of the Super Bowl. So
I figured that's what it was. I saw you make a post, and I was like, that's got to be WrestleMania. I was like, either that or he's going down to see family or something. I was like, that's got to be WrestleMania.
It's also time for me to get over Rob Manfred because when you tagged me that early in the week, but we got plenty to talk about. I don't got to talk about that clown.
Hey, by the way, that the wrestling thing,
yeah.
How much are they charging pay-per-view nowadays for that?
If you just buy it on the regular TV, it's about $40 to $60 depending on what pay-per-view. But if you have Peacock TV, it's free. So it depends if you have Peacock or not also.
Wow, that's weird. Okay, so they're just giving it away. I thought WrestleMania was like a huge pay-per-view event for them. No?
It is. They just actually sold all their rights from WWE to Peacock. So a way to get their network going more in the right direction. If you subscribe to them, you could buy it. But if not, you could still buy WrestleMania for $59.99 a night.
Okay, but you're better off doing the Peacock TV because it's like
exactly
$5 a month, right? Okay,
gotcha.
Yep. I mean, you couldn't get me to watch a wrestling event for a gunpoint, but I do know it's popular. It's very, very.
Well, I'm
popular.
interested. I want to break this down now. I mean, who'd you go to, Joey?
Who's
going to win this thing?
I'll just say I hope I see some cool figures. I mean, they'll have a couple famous people like Logan Paul get involved, but we'll see what happens, and it's gonna be a fun event and a name that some might know, Randy Orton, but I won't get too far deep in the weeds here with Masters, and I know the NFL mock draft, but I'm really excited. I'll be there Saturday night as it is a 2-day event, 25,000 per night with COVID. Usually I went 2 years ago, they had 80,000 strong at the Giants Jet Stadium, but with COVID, it's 25,000 a night.
25,000. All right. Well, I mean, that's what it was at the Super Bowl, so not bad.
Yeah, no, it's not bad, and it's supposed to be 80s all week. I just want to get out of here and get to a state that makes sense and get out of Chicago.
All right, well, let's go. Before we get into win, place, and show, I want to get y'all's take on this. There was a Babe Ruth letter that was sold for $200,000 yesterday. Okay, it's been authenticated. It's the real deal, and evidently he was writing it to his mistress. Okay. It's just a handwritten letter. Like I'm looking at, there's nothing phenomenal about it, but here's what Ruth wrote. This is the part I want to just want to get Justin's take on this. Ruth was a married man at the time, and he wrote some lady named Nell. Well, you don't see a lot of Nells nowadays, do you? That's not a name.
That movie ruined it.
That name right there, did not last the test of time. Ruth wrote, "Dear Nell, very sorry, but my wife jumped over on me without me knowing it. This is the first time she ever did that. She is watching me, so don't get mad, and I will see you Monday night." He later on in the letter wrote, "The club is watching, so only way I will be able to see you all night is for you to stop at the Aldine Hotel, and I can see you then, babe." And then at the very end, almost like a PS, "Nell, don't call me up." Justin, I'll give you the floor.
That's amazing. Wow. What they did before text messages and pagers and cell phones, wrote incriminating evidence on paper for someone to find, 80 years later? That's amazing. Well, we know why he's called the Great Bambino now. Nell gave him that nickname.
Joey, what say you?
I don't want to even speculate what was going on there, but Babe Ruth, just a legend and a pretty great story. I always love hearing things from the way past, especially on one of the best to ever do it. So that's a classic right there.
I mean, I saw this morning. I couldn't stop laughing. I especially love the part, Nell, don't call me up.
Yeah, exactly.
I can envision him with he's got a drink and a hot dog while writing this. There's probably ketchup stain on the envelope or something. Mustard. He's a mustard guy, I'm pretty sure.
Got some type of stain, that's for sure.
I just know that. Back then
Probably wrote it in between the third and fourth inning.
Yeah. Well, back then there was no caller ID, so he couldn't be jumping and running to the phone every time the phone call. And then you know she's hanging it up, and there's no star 69. The wife's going bananas.
Well, back then they probably had the community phones still, where you called into the operator, and they had the party lines back in the day. He's like, "Hey, you can't be on the party line, Nell."
Yeah, hey, this is Nell. Let me talk to the Bambino. This is who? This is Nell. Don't worry about who I am. The operator just happens to be the Bambino's cousin or something. Yeah, it's a whole nightmare. That was the dawn of social media. was the operators going, you know what I just heard? Oh, all hell's gonna break loose. All right, we'll move on from that. Let's go ahead and do our win, place, and show in the Masters, and then we'll get into our NFL mock draft. Justin, I'll start with you if you're ready. If not, I can buy you some time. No. Are you ready for your win, place, and show?
I am. I'm going to take for the win, John Rahm.
Wow. Okay. I thought you were going to take your boy. You see
no, he's in there, but I mean, with them having the baby last week, this just feels like 2016 with the Will Hoyt having his baby early, and then coming in and winning the Masters the next week, and everybody's on the speed train. He's gotten hot. He won. Man, it is very hard. I don't see it very often where a guy goes out and wins a tournament and then follows it up and wins a Masters next year, or the next week. It's really hard to double dip like that. But Spieth could very well do it. But I'm going to go with Rahm. I will go with DJ as my place. I mean, he's the defending champion. He's got one of the lowest scores ever on this course. It's hard to just write him off. And then I'm in between here. It's between Thomas and Morikawa. I'm gonna go Morikawa. I think he's played. Thomas played a little better here, but the putting worries me. I'll go Morikawa for my show. So Rahm, Johnson, Dustin Johnson, and Morikawa.
Okay, Joey, what say you?
For win, place, show, I'm going Spieth for show, Fleetwood for place, and Dustin Johnson for the win. I got kind of a mini pick six thing going on.
You machine gun me there. Spieth for show, and then DJ for the win. Who was place?
Fleetwood.
You know, I don't have a freaking secretary over here, so I'm writing. I'm trying to run 6 different devices.
Usually I'm a little behind. So sorry. Usually I'm a little behind. So
now, Burger. Okay, I'm ready for the mock draft.
Give me the number 6. No. Spieth third, Fleetwood second, and Johnson first.
Monday morning, you're texting me. How did I do? Hell, I don't know, dude. I didn't write yours down.
Sounded like a bunch of Hita come out of Hita.
So I'm going to take DeChambeau for the win. I do have Fleetwood for the show. I've been talking about him all week. I've got a funny feeling that he's going to have a chance. And I don't normally pick this guy, but he's playing pretty good golf, and I might as well go ahead and ride that wave. Rory McIlroy, I'm gonna have for place. He's playing well, and this is a course that's set up for him. DeChambeau just can hit the ball so damn long. This can be a really short course for him, kind of like when Tiger first came onto the scene. But I have no real reason for the Fleetwood other than the fact he's been playing pretty well over the last couple of. I always pay attention to like the last 2 tournaments before leading up to the Masters, and I'll do the same thing with the others. And he's been relevant, so that's one of my reasons for Fleetwood. And I'm not particularly a fan of his. And if I put everyone that I'm a fan of, then I have no shot in hell of winning, because I know exactly how that's going to go down. So there you have it. Essentially, to recap, Justin's got Rahm for the win, Joey's got DJ for the win, I got DeChambeau for the win. And then As far as when placing show, just rewind and watch that. I'm not going through all that again. Okay. Couple of things before we hit the mock draft. I do want to throw out there AJ Boy. I forgot to bring that up earlier. He signed with the Panthers, which is a big deal. Jordan Howard re-signs with the Eagles, which is not a big deal. But Max Scherzer was quoted, Justin, as saying, I don't understand why there aren't more fans in the stands, because remember in Washington, they were only allowing like 5,000 fans, which is essentially like 12% capacity. And he sounded off about it. What say
you?
You?
Have to wear masks outdoors. It looks silly on TV. Can you not sit them behind home plate so us people that are in normal states can enjoy our normal lives and not have to watch outbreak over and over and over again? Just quit sitting people behind the plate. I think it's stupid. I think it's I don't know.
5,000. I mean, when you consider most of the other ones are at least at like a 10,000 capacity. Or
I mean, you just got to consider where they are.
Right, but I thought
not a lot of smartness coming out of that area here recently.
I found it interesting that Max Scherzer would actually chime in about it.
Joey, how many fans do y'all have up there on the south and north side, Joey? Are they allowing fans in Chicago at Wrigley or Kaminsky?
Yeah, we get about a little under a third. So it's.
I want to turn your mic up. I can barely hear you.
We get around a third of our fans for both teams. So it's a little bit. I'm actually surprised, but they said they'll try to move to half capacity over the summer. But like, why does Lorenzo Cain wear a mask in center field? I can't understand for the life of me why he does that. But
well, remember he opted out, so he's bugged out about this. He thinks it's the plague.
Oh, God.
He hit a home run yesterday. I'm watching the replay, and he had it on it at a home plate. I don't see anyone wearing masks this year at home plate, but he's bugged out about it. So I don't know if he's got someone in his family that has a condition. He's worried about catching it. I don't know if he has some kind of abnormal condition. Maybe he does. I don't know. But I do know that he opted out last year. So his antennas are up. I'll just put it that way. I don't want to bash the guy because I don't know enough about him to know why he opted out. Now, if it's because he's listening to Fauci, then it's a whole other set of issues. But anyways, I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit. You don't see many major leaguers talk about anything, and you damn sure don't normally see them go against the grain. And Scherzer said, "What the hell's going on around here?"
Especially when Fauci is a national super fan. You sure that's going to trickle back down to management?
Yeah. The moment I saw that, I thought of the old Jim Halbert thing. What is going on?
Does he wear 3 masks now, Fauci?
Oh, yes. I don't know, but there's a great clip that I need to get in for the show that I saw as a video of him being interviewed. And basically he was backtracking when they asked him about the riots. I guess it's a fairly old video that I just hadn't seen. Backtracking during the riots, and basically the person interviewing was asking him, well, all these groups getting together in large groups, should the government step in and prevent that? He goes, oh, I can't talk on that. And the guy called him on. He goes, we give advice about everything else that you're not qualified for. You talk about Major League Baseball. You tell people about how to date. Why can't you tell them not to riot? Oh, I don't understand how that's relevant. He's just backtracking. And then there's a really funny TikTok video where the person's like imitating, and I don't know. They put some filter on their face so this lady kind of looks like Fauci, and it is hilarious. I'll get it in for the show. I promise that. It's too funny not to see. It's too funny not to see. I'll see if I can get that out for tomorrow. We are in the mock draft, so let me get that sucker out. I forgot how fun it was, Justin, to have to update every day about where we are for people who aren't who didn't. I mean, essentially, I'm the only one who's a part of this entire thing. Everyone else dips in and out, so I've got to keep everyone updated on who's picked who. I was like, man, I forgot how by the end, the text message is this damn long. Okay, so this is where we are at so far. Because I'm just copying and pasting. I'm just like, whatever, dude. I'm not going to answer. Well, who picked who at 26? Justin, you've got the number. Well, you got the first pick, but it's the number 11th pick for today. The New York Giants are on the clock, and I'm interested to see where you go with this, considering some of the things that they've added in the offseason. Who do you like for the Giants to go after on the 11th pick?
I'm double checking my list, but I do not see Waddle off the board yet. So I'm going to, with the addition of Kenny Galladay, I'm going to get another weapon for this offense, and I'm taking Jalen Waddle, wide receiver out of Alabama.
So you're taking Waddle, okay. And by the way, he is not taken.
Yeah, I didn't see him on the list. That's why I just wanted to double check. But looks like
You know
Smith and
what's
Chase are off
interesting?
the board. So if Waddle's at 11, there's no way I pass on him as the Giants.
What's interesting about him is considering how dominant he was before he got banged up. I mean, I think Waddle might have been the best receiver on Alabama. Now, I know that you and I kind of fell in love with Devontae Smith and what he can do, but a lot of that had to do with the fact that Waddle just wasn't available. So I like that pick a lot. He's a hell of a lot bigger too, isn't he? What's his size? Do you have it in front of you?
He's shorter than I thought. He's 5'10", 180.
Is he really?
Yeah, I didn't realize.
He looks muscular, like 180. That's nothing. I got
to go back and check Smith because I thought
you're right.
a lot bigger than Smith.
Well, I know Smith's like 165, 5'10", 180. I guess compared to Smith, he looks like freaking Hulk Hogan. You know, I just yeah. I've got here 5'10", 182. I would have thought like 6 foot, but that's in. But look, when you look at Daniel Jones, one thing he does not have, especially since they got rid of OBJ, is he doesn't have any go-to receivers. So they did some things during the offseason that you like, but you want to get some youth influx in there. So I've got the second pick with the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm a little surprised. I would be surprised if he's actually here at this point, but he has been passed up time and time again. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the one thing the Eagles are going to want is to keep people off of Jalen Hurts. And when a Penei Sewell falls all the way down from Oregon, you got to grab him. So I'm going to put Sewell on my board. And do y'all see it going differently if he was available? Because I think Sewell, when Sean picked, where did he pick him at? He picked Slater to Denver. I just have a hard time believing that Slater gets drafted before Sewell. But I do know Sean's really big on, of course, the guy plays in the Big Ten, so you never know if that's kind of a. By the way, Tony dropped his win place and show, and he's going to take Thomas to win, Casey to place, and Kuchar to show. So we got that. I'm assuming that no one has any qualms against Sewell.
No, because you literally just took my pick. That was my pick for the Chargers.
I could tell by the way you were right there. I knew it couldn't be Justin because I was like, he's 2 picks away. And the only time me and Justin react like that is if it was like a fantasy draft and you just took my guy. I'm like, you son of a.
Yeah, usually there's just we just cuss each other.
Right.
It always happens that way too.
So where are you going? You're the Chargers. You got your pants around your ankles. You're not prepared, and I've taken your pick. So where are you going?
I had it down so much to where I knew Sewell was the 2019 Polynesian Player of the Year. But if I have to go new, I'm looking for the next best available lineman because I simply think, which I'll find here in a sec, but you simply have to protect Herbert. They got weapons at receiver. I know they lost. Hunter Henry, which obviously is a big deal at the tight end position, but I'll go with the O tackle from USC, Elijah Vera Tucker. Two last names there, so Elijah and then Vera Tucker, O tackle out of USC. Because I was surprised too to see Sewell there, and I saw Slater was off the board, so I'm gonna go with my next best available.
All right. And before Justin has to run out of here, he's got the 14th pick. Minnesota Vikings, a team that can contend, that can, for all intents and purposes, they've got a lot of their big position. They got a quarterback, they got receivers, they got a running back. Maybe defense is where you go. Where are you heading with this pick? Have we only had one defensive player drafted so far? It looks like.
Yeah, and I'm about to take best pass rusher off the board here, and the Vikings are going to fall into, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Kwity Paye, edge rusher out of Michigan.
I do remember him well. I remember him having a really big year. He seemed like when you would watch Michigan football, he seemed like the one guy that you're like, that guy could actually probably play in the Southeastern Conference or ACC.
I mean, I have him on edge rush. I was leaning if Paye was taken by one of you guys, I was going to go Jalen Phillips. He's got some durability concerns, but with Paye still sitting there, I'm gonna lean that way. I do think he's a better pass rusher, and I think in that division, not only do you need to get after Rodgers, but you can completely dominate your other two teams if you can get after it. I mean, you'll be chasing Goff and Trubisky, so that can only be advantage Vikings.
True. We'll do the other two picks on the other side of the break because I know you got to get running, sir. What is your walk-off for the day?
Masters Week, man. It's here. It's upon us. Everybody have a great day. Again, I want to tell my son happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Joey, be careful with that wrestling, man. Don't wear too much spandex. That stuff cuts off the blood circulation. So
happy birthday to your son.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And don't get arrested in costume, buddy, because we will blast you on the show for that.
Do you dress up for these?
I just wear a shirt of somebody I love. I'm not
Come on
I'm
now.
not one of the.
Where's your mask, McGee? I know Joey's got one too. Y'all both put them on.
Man, if I didn't think about that, I'd have my freaking Mexican wrestling mask on right now.
I got some John Cena gear. That's about it.
I've got one for the Titans and one for Florida State when we went on a cruise and stopped off in Mexico and they were selling these things. And
nice.
Yeah.
You guys are killing me. Come on.
Dude, I'm definitely what do they call the arrest report that comes out in the papers every day? I will be scanning. You said Tampa, correct?
Yep.
I will be scrolling. Good luck. Stay off the radar. Behave. And don't mention armchair quarterbacks if you go down with spandex.
If you go down in spandex and you got like a wrestling mask on, something, you got to wear an armchair shirt. I mean, that's just the good.
Yeah.
How about we just get the exclusive interview and you leave the shirt off? I don't know if we need the shirt. I mean, is that good or bad?
I'll say
I don't know.
Justin Waller's my main dude in spandex.
Hashtag that. Want it to go popular.
Put on the back of your spandex, Justin's property.
Property of ACQB Waller. Get it right. Later, gentlemen.
All right, brother. Oh, man. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to finish the rest of this mock draft, and then we're going to get into some Major League Baseball, talk about the fact that Manfred is in hot water after the news broke yesterday, and we'll talk about that. And we've got a couple other things that we'll get into. All that ahead and more here on the Armchair Quarterbacks. Keep it locked in here to CBS Sports Radio. We'll be back in a flash.
Sesame Street has introduced 2 new black Muppets to help explain racial difference to children, which begs the question, are these Muppets white?
Armchair.
CBS Sports Radio.
You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks, CBS Sports Radio, #1 sports station.
Good morning, and this is your Armchair Quarterbacks Sports Flash. Nike has suspended its endorsement deal with Deshaun Watson, and Beats by Dre is ending its sponsorship with Watson as well amid the sexual assault, inappropriate behavior allegations against the Houston Texans quarterback. In a statement, Nike said, quote, "We are deeply concerned by the disturbing allegations and have suspended Deshaun Watson. We will continue to closely monitor the situation," end quote. The NFL has launched an investigation into Watson under its personal conduct policy, and NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy on Tuesday called the allegations against the quarterback deeply disturbing. Tennessee Volunteer freshman Keon Johnson will enter the NBA draft and forego his remaining college eligibility by hiring an agent, he announced on Wednesday. Quote, "Since our season ended, I've spent a lot of time thinking, praying, and consulting with my family and coaches, and I have decided to enter the 2021 NBA draft. I am forever thankful to God for blessing me with talents, surrounding me with a solid support system, and positioning me to make this next big step," unquote. Johnson is considered one of the quickest and most explosive players in the college game in terms of ability to accelerate from a standstill and get off his feet for dunks and blocks. As the season progressed, he started flashing real upside as a ball handler in the pick and roll situations. It's anybody's guess, but Johnson does project as a first rounder. We've got a pretty good slate of games today in Major League Baseball. 1:35, Jake Arrieta versus the Pirates and Tyler Anderson. The Red Sox send Erod to the mound versus Matt Harvey. And the Brewers and Cardinals square off. Corbin Burns versus Adam Wainwright. If you're looking for some offense at 6:37 first pitch, the Angels head to Toronto. Ross Stripling versus Griffin Canning. The tee times are out as the Masters gets going here this morning. Some of the highlighted groups: Ian Poulter tees off at 9 a.m. Eastern. Jason Day at 9:36. Bubba Watson and Brooks Koepka, 10:06 a.m. Sergio Garcia and Webb Simpson at 10:18. And Dustin Johnson, Lee Westwood at 10:30. 10:42, you got Rory McIlroy, John Rahm. And 10:54, Patrick Reed. Fred Couples hits the links at 12:24. Tommy Fleetwood, Phil Mickelson at 1:12. Bryson DeChambeau and Adam Scott at 1:36, with Tony Finau and Justin Thomas at 1:48. And to end the afternoon, Colin Morikawa, Cameron Smith, and Jordan Spieth tee off at 2 p.m. ESPN coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern, but you can see some of the holes on the Plus earlier in the day. And that's your Armchair Quarterback Sports Flash. Stay tuned for more of the Armchair Quarterbacks radio show and YouTube Live. Please like, subscribe, and share our show today. The Armchair Quarterbacks, your first choice for sports talk live from the First Coast.
I'm Amy Lawrence, and I'm up late, always, after hours, hanging out with you on CBS Sports Radio. Check it out, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
If we actually enjoyed our New Year's resolutions, we'd all have six-packs, money in our saving accounts, and we'd know how to play the piano. I have to tell you about the one resolution I actually enjoy. It's Built Bar. It's delicious. Oh, yeah, it's healthy, too. Built Bar is healthier than your favorite protein bar. They're low-cal, low-sugar, high-protein, high-fiber, great for the keto diet. Lose or maintain weight while indulging. And with only 4 net carbs and 150 calories, there's no guilt. Visit BuiltBar.com.
You'll do anything to stay healthy. So isn't it time to think about your water? Aquasana water filters remove contaminants other filters don't, like lead, bacteria, viruses, and pesticides. Up to 99% of 88 contaminants, while leaving vital minerals you need like potassium, calcium, and magnesium. Visit waterfilter.com now and use promo code RADIO to get 50% off. That's waterfilter.com, promo code RADIO for pure, delicious water and the ultimate peace of mind. Aquasana, better water, better you.
All right, just wash your hands before you use it. I don't get your germs.
Whoa. Washing your hands is healthy? I did it because it felt good. I have so much to learn.
Good morning. CBS Sports Radio, YouTube Live, the Armchair Quarterbacks. Find us on YouTube Live today, Armchair Quarterbacks. And we are, unlike some of them, we do have the chat open so you can talk smack or say whatever you want to say. By the way, the Masters has gotten going so far, and all of our win places and shows have decided not to play, and they're out of the tournament. No, you got Swafford leading at 2 under through 5 holes. So he was one of the first ones to tee off. Stuart Sink is 1 under through 2, along with Matt Jones. Everyone else is at even, and I don't see any really big names. I think the first big names that hit are 10 a.m. is when you'll see most of. You do have Jason Day at 9:36, so there are a few. But Brooks Koepka and Bubba Watson, that's the big one, 10:06, and that'll be available on the Plus. Paramount, which I guess is that is the new, what used to be called CBS All Sport Access or whatever the hell it was called. And so there you go with that. So that didn't take long for CBS to find out you shouldn't charge $6 a month to watch women's soccer. They had to go a different route. We got to get some movies in here, man. Let's call this thing Paramount. No one's going to watch, whatever nonsense we have going on. Let's go ahead and before we get into the rest of the mock draft, Joey, a report came out by several entities. I saw it on 3 different networks yesterday that evidently Rob Manfred, when he made his decision to move the All-Star game, and I wondered out loud about this when it happened. Was this a vote? Like, what the hell happened here? Come to find out, he discussed none of this with the owners. They did not expect any of this to take place, and especially they didn't think any kind of decision would be made that quickly. They also expected to be a part of the decision. Okay? And come to find out, Manfred not only went rogue and made the decision by his lonesome, along with whatever, yes men that he has working in his office, but he was in cahoots with talking to Democratic leaders, and it makes you wonder, you didn't get both sides of the aisle involved? So it really makes you wonder about Rob Manfred. Evidently, advisors from Stacey Abrams, LeBron James, I'm forgetting a name. I'm going to try to look it up while we talk. They all guided him to take it out. And so Stacey Abrams has mud on her face. This isn't a political talk show, so we won't get into all that. But Stacey Abrams is a political figure in Georgia, and she lied to the Georgia people, said she had nothing to do with it, and she did not want the Major League All-Star game being sent to where is now Colorado. And I almost wonder if someone from his office, from Manfred's office, leaked that, because, well, that lying piece of crap, she's the one that told us to do it. Now, she may not physically did it, but it was her advisors that did. So the whole thing stinks. It smells bad. And, well, what say you?
It just continues to be a disappointment. Rob Manfred, I've been watching your show all week. I usually catch it later at night. And I'm so glad what you said about All-Star Week. You won't hear a peep out of me from that. You tagged me over the weekend on Twitter. When I couldn't believe what I was reading for a minute there. And just to hear about this news now, if Manfred's, doing things on his own with a side crew and not going through MLB ownership, I really hope the worst type of backlash for him. I already wasn't a big fan. And just the continued mishaps that he seems to be doing is really disappointing. Atlanta, Georgia deserve this. I know you said maybe in the future they might get slotted, but it's just really disappointing to pull the plug at this time. And for the reasoning, if he's doing it with his own corner, shame on them, because you got to get everybody's opinion involved. And it looks like they took a sneaky and shady way to do it.
Just absolutely despicable.
It makes me sick.
It's absolutely disgusting that something like this comes about. And I'm sorry, but a decision that big, he should have had a vote by the owners. I'm sorry, but he should have.
Yes.
because now he's put himself out there on a line. I'm telling you right now, end him. They're gonna, go ahead and get the electric chair ready because they're gonna execute this guy. What he did against Major League Baseball by not doing a damn thing when the Astros were caught cheating. That was a big first strike.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like a whirlwind second strike. You don't get a third strike. I'm sorry. It's time to get rid of the guy because they're going to go into the offseason and they need better leadership when trying to get a new CBA. And it'll be interesting to see where this goes. But right now, he's in such hot water. I don't see how he survives this.
No, he shouldn't survive it, number one. And there's no third strike. You're the commissioner. I think this big of a mishap is just terrible. And I could go on and on all day. But when I saw LeBron James tweet out his love right away, the things you're seeing and the reports you're seeing are making sense because it seems like he had a big part possibly to do with this.
Yeah, well, the way it came across last night, I don't know if he was physically involved in it, but it was people from his camp. Right. So essentially, he's probably talking.
Oh yeah. His word trickles down.
Yes, exactly. And it's pathetic. Here it is. Major League Baseball decided to move the All-Star game on his own. Major League here's the report. Commissioner Rob Manfred decided to move the All-Star game on his own after holding extensive discussions with voting rights groups of LeBron James, Stacey Abrams, and Reverend Al Sharpton. I knew there was another one that was just like always a lunatic. He's a loon. He's a loon. So yeah, there you have it. He is going to be in trouble. And Sharpton won't get any feedback because no one cares what he says anymore. Everybody knows he's a nut. Well, everyone knows LeBron's a moron. But Stacey Abrams is going to be the one that's in hot water because she's heavily involved in the political field in Georgia, and she lied to the Georgia voters because when it came out, she said last weekend, I saw the clip. She said, I did not want them to move the All-Star game. This is not how I thought it would go. Now, maybe they'll all start slinging mud back and forth. Saying, we didn't tell you to move it. We told you, we didn't like the new law, and you went ahead and moved it. I'm sure that's a way they'll get out of it. But I do know the Players Alliance was involved in this junk too. Everyone to pat them on the back, and you've got a bunch of morons on that panel, right? And so you have a bunch of they're older players, and you got to listen to them. But find one college degree among any of them. They're just a bunch of ex-players who dipped out during high school, probably never read a damn book till they were in their 20s because they didn't have to. They weren't forced to because they could hit the ball really good. You hit ball hard, you get a B. We don't want to give everyone, you don't want to give you an A. That's going to be too obvious. We'll give you a B.
But yet they can cancel things. Unreal.
Right. You're great at your sport, and we love watching you at your sport. But just like an actor, I don't give a damn about your political opinion. All right, let's move on. We could go into that all day long.
Yeah, we could.
This story isn't over. That's all I'm telling you.
It is not. No.
It is not. So we are in the middle of the mock draft, and the first 4 picks today were Waddle of Alabama to the Giants. Penei Sewell, offensive lineman, was still there, so I grabbed him for the Eagles. The Chargers took Vera Tucker, offensive tackle out of Southern Cal, and then Justin had just taken Michigan lineman, arguably the best pass rusher. And look, I could see Pay going to the Cowboys. I just really like Micah Parsons. I think Micah Parsons is phenomenal, and so that's why I had him at the Cowboys yesterday. So this is the one that I'm telling you right now, if this falls this way, there's going to be a collective groan all over the National Football League by fans and everybody. And I had them earmarked, but I didn't know if one of y'all were going to take them. The one that I thought might take him would have been Justin at the Minnesota pick.
Okay.
But he didn't go. I was really excited because I had him slotted for the Patriots, but I didn't. I was like, man, there's just no way. There's no way this guy's gonna fall. It's just not gonna happen. Everyone's got him going up too early. And man, could they use a quarterback? Trey Lance goes to your New England Patriots.
Wow.
And if that falls, holy crap. Because he's got a year to sit back. He doesn't have to start. I think regardless, they're going to go quarterback at the 15 slot. Trey Lance may be gone, and rightfully should be. But I could see a scenario where many other quarterbacks that are still available, or New England might do the smart thing and build isn't everything in an infrastructure now? So they'll build their infrastructure and then they'll go get their quarterback. But there's such a deep quarterback class this year.
Yep.
I just think if he's there, you got to grab him if you're New England. What say you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I like that pick. Like you said, if he's still there and they want quarterback, they should take him. No reason. You want me to continue with pick 16 in Arizona?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that. So Arizona, they're the 16th pick on the board. They've done a lot of phenomenal things during the
have.
Where do you see them going?
So since they lost Patrick Peterson over in Minnesota, I know he is getting older. I'm going with the guy that actually, following the dismissal of Will Muschamp, he sat out last year, but J.C. Horn, cornerback out of South Carolina. True freshman. He started 10 of 11 games, had 45 tackles, a couple of sacks. His name freshman All SEC. Sophomore, he started 12 games, 40 tackles. So I think, I think that's he's actually, his father's Joe Horn too, by the way. So I'm going to
is he? I did not know that about him.
Yep. So I'm going to go with J.C. Horn, Arizona.
So he definitely comes from good stock. And if anyone would know how to cover a receiver, it would, or if anyone knew how to play defensive back, it would be the son of a great receiver.
Exactly.
It's still in my opinion, the greatest end zone celebration of all time, where he pulled the cell phone out from under the padding.
That was awesome.
That was as good as T.O.'s were, because T.O.'s had some great ones when he pulled the Sharpie out of his sock and whatnot. That was phenomenal. So we will continue tomorrow, and that will take us to, we'll be at the Raiders, isn't it? Raiders at 17. Yeah, the Raiders.
Sounds right.
We'll do the Miami Dolphins, Washington football team.
Will the Colts make the cut tomorrow? They're 21.
They'll
probably be on Monday.
They could possibly make the cut because we have Matt here tomorrow as well. So
I'll be listening.
Who would you suggest?
Just position-wise, best available between offensive tackle and edge rusher. Out of those two spots,
I noticed. I'm looking at this one mock draft, and they got him going receiver. But would you go receiver again?
No, not since. I mean, we took Pittman last year early in round 2, and then we re-signed. We re-signed Hilton and Pascal. So I would not. I mean, we really need an edge rusher, and Anthony Costanza retired. So I think tackle or pass rusher, it has to 100% no doubtably be.
Try to go see.
Some of these mock drafts are weird. And like you said, I can't even scroll the screen on some of these things. Like you're scrolling and then a video or ad pop up and it's like, come on, I'm just looking for the picks.
I'm going to try to orchestrate it where we can get to the number 54 pick by next Thursday.
Nice.
Which is the Colts. I don't think they have a pick before that.
No, they do not.
Okay. I try to orchestrate as well as I can that the fan of the team gets to draft the player, but sometimes it just can't, like, well, I can't sit here on hold for a week. Okay, we're good. So
today, I'll call in from Tampa.
Today we're just going to vote on the number 17th pick. Let's take some phone calls on it.
Yeah.
Hey, Raider Nation, where you at? They I'd say we'll definitely get there because we'll probably get to the Titans tomorrow. I'll get Justin to do the Titans pick tomorrow.
Fantastic.
So there's a lot of interesting ones out there, though, man. I'll tell you what, I am so ready for this draft. It was in last weekend of April. Okay, so let's put that aside and some things to get into now. First of all, let's talk a little baseball, and then we have time. I want to get into something else that I found pretty interesting. First of all, your reaction: Caitlyn Jenner may be running for governor of California.
When you said that this morning, my car almost went sideways and hit the parking meter.
I saw it on an actual news site. I was like,
but at this point,
I had to Google it for a second because they only had the name. I said, wait a minute, which one's Caitlyn? Which one is Caitlyn? Yeah. I was like, is this a daughter? I was like, oh no, it's Freak Show. Freak Show's running for. Oh no,
is this the younger daughter? Hey, Caitlyn, whatever. She won that award. I won't be shocked if she gets a California governmental position.
Have you seen the Norm interview that he did on his show? It's been going around on TikTok, where he's got Caitlyn on his show and he's asking Caitlyn about the book that Caitlyn wrote.
I have not seen that.
It's really good. I'll have to get it as an armchair intro tomorrow or something. It is funny because Caitlyn does double speak, basically. At one point during the book, it's written somewhere, and I think it's an autobiography. Regardless, Caitlyn was involved in it, and the comment was something like, "I'm not a woman, so I can't speak on that kind of thing." And then like one paragraph down, and as a woman, and I am a woman, blah 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 blah. And so he pulls it up, and Caitlin's like, "What? I don't see the problem." It's like, but you don't see the problem?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get back into some Major League Baseball. Might want to turn your mic up because you went low again.
Sorry about that.
Let me see here. So looking at the standings going at NL Central, you got Cardinals and Cubs expected to be duking it out all year long. But right now the Reds are 5-1. Break up the Reds, right? Now, granted, they have not played the toughest of opponents to begin their season, but I think this division is going to be an absolute dogfight. Milwaukee's 3-3, Chicago's 3-3, Cardinals are 4-2. Granted, the Cardinals got a chance to play against the Marlins the last 3 days, who are not playing good baseball at all. This is the kind of stuff that we expected to see in a 162 game season with the Marlins. Where are you at right now as a Cubs fan? As far as looking, you're 3-3. You dropped the last 2 to Milwaukee, but you came out with like a bang against a bad Pirates team, albeit. Where do you feel right now, sitting 6-7 days into the season?
I usually sit about. I usually take about. A few more weeks to really, dive in, but I'm so done with this team already. Our hitting struggles have gone on from 2018. Our last 2 days, we were no hit through 6 yesterday, as you alluded to this morning. And the day prior, we just didn't get the ball rolling too much. I'm upset with this offense. I think Ricketts not giving Rizzo a contract is terrible. After all he's done for the city, taking pay cuts and bringing a championship. So my usually I'm a very positive guy and my glass is half full, but I'm negative on this team. I don't see it. I just very disappointed that the bats that we get the same struggles every year and not much changes. So even though they're 3-3, not happy to this point, and I won't unless they prove me otherwise.
I think a good surprise is that Kimbrel.
Yes, that is one.
He has looked good. Now, I don't know if he's Samson, if he just needs to keep that hair long. What's going on with him? He's got kind of that sideshow Bob look going on, like Dustin May's, spawned, brother, long lost brother. But he's looked good, which has been surprising.
Yeah, he looks a little refreshed. I mean, at least that's one positive note. And the pitching, Kyle Hendricks had a good outing yesterday, and Trevor Williams also had a good one a couple days ago. It's more the bats for me that just really tick me off.
You're going to see that early in Chicago, though, aren't you? With the cold weather, it doesn't seem like the bats liven up. I've always contended the first week of the season, I don't like teams going the first 6-7 days of the season on the road in Major League Baseball. I think you should get opening day knocked out by the second series. But after that, I feel like most of your northern teams, if you can do it, send them on a week to 10-day road trip to go out to either out west or down south, wherever you got to send them, right? And it's not just for the players, for the fans too. The ones that are letting fans in the stands, who the hell wants to sit in like 30-degree weather at some of these games, right? So I really wish they would clean that up. You've got enough teams in the South and out west and in domes that you can work, you could figure that out. Is my point.
Well, I mean, the perfect example is the White Sox. They started on a West Coast trip with the Angels, and now they're in Seattle. Smart way of doing business there. Now, it was 71 in Chicago yesterday, but like you said, most of the time you're getting your 50s, you're getting your rain, you're not getting that good weather. But yeah, overall disappointing, just like the bats. Hopefully they heat up with the weather.
The Cardinals look pretty good. The one that I'm biggest surprised about is the Reds. And look, I know that they've been playing the Pirates, but look, they looked good against the Cardinals, right? They took 2 of 3, I believe. And so the Reds, you just do not expect to come out pitching as well as they have. We'll see how there'll be a bigger litmus test, going into the second week, obviously, but outside of the National League Central, what has caught your eye this first week in Major League Baseball?
Kind of what caught my eye is, well, actually, I saw my guy Bo Bichette, my AL MVP, hit a couple homers in one game.
Hey, by the way, your boy Dylan Carson hit a grand slam last night. Every time I see this guy get a hit now, I think of you. I'll go, holy crap, you should have took him.
I jinxed myself. Good for him, bad for me. But you even tagged me on the first day. I think opening day, his first at bat was a home run too.
Yeah.
It was, so I'm kicking myself a little bit on that. And other than that, though, I don't know. Like Baltimore had a good series over the weekend with the Red Sox, but now the Red Sox, like you alluded to earlier, are playing well again. So I don't know. It's a mixed bag right now, and I'm just interested to see a month down the road where we stand. I had Max Fried yesterday, and the Braves won a couple games. I looked at my phone. I was like, "What the hell?" I gotta ask Armchair. What happened? I gotta ask.
He looked terrible. He had a bad first inning. I don't know if it was the goofy early start time. I don't know what it was because he looked great in the first game.
Okay, yeah.
I have no idea, but he was not hitting his spots. And then it seemed like he was pressing. Then he got up to so many pitches. Snicker just says, let's just get him out of here and fight another day. Which honestly, from a fantasy perspective, it's almost like, okay, yeah, can we just stop the bleeding? It's just, I didn't expect that. I expected him to pitch a gem and we'd be fighting tooth and nail to try to win game 2, which we did. But the runs were scored in the first game. And the Braves bats came alive. They hit some home runs, but they're all solo shots. And I'm like, oh, here we go again. These stupid solo shots. But I think the Braves are going to be okay. People, oh my God, I can't tell you how many people on my social media flipping the hell out, ready to jump off bridges off an 0-4 start. I'm like, dude, they play 162 of these, right? And there's a reason why, because baseball, any given day, momentum is today's starting pitcher. So in a 162 game season, you get a bigger picture of who the best teams are, and they go to the postseason. There's a reason why we'd only play like 16 of these things like football. It'd be insane. So he had a bad outing, and then we get the bad news about Soroka that he's going to be put on the shelf for a couple of weeks because of inflammation in his shoulder. So the pitching is going to be it's not going to be bad, but it's going to be dicey in the back end, especially that fifth starter for the first month or so of the season. I think Soroka will finally get back. I'm thinking now, before I was thinking he'd be back by the end of April. I think it's more likely now you're shooting for like Memorial Day weekend, because they're just not going to push him because they know they've had a pretty good team and they figure they can bullpen their way one day a week. And why press it? I'd like to see Bryce Wilson get an opportunity to come up, but when Soroka comes back, it's going to help everyone. It's even going to help Fried if you have Fried, because then who pitched phenomenally yesterday, he goes to the back of the bullpen and can start locking down the wins.
No, we have the same problem here with the fifth starter in Chicago. Elzaloy didn't look good the other day, so bottom of our rotation is not good either.
All right, it's time to turn back time and get the hell out of here. So here we go on another edition of the Armchair Quarterbacks. Great job again today, Joey, as we turn back time.
Yes, sir.
Here's one that'll get you. This is a little known fact. On this date, 1963, Detroit Tigers, they claim a young pitcher off of waivers from the Chicago White Sox by the name of Denny McLain. Denny McLain would go on to win the Cy Young Award in 1968, 1969, win the AL MVP, and he's the last 30-game winner. And I bet if you were sitting in bars in the late 60s in Chicago, you would have heard a whole lot about that. Can you believe we dropped this guy? What the hell was going on? Back then, that was social media. You just went to a bar and you complained to your buddy. It's late 60s in Chicago, so they would then burn something down. Which not a whole lot of things have changed.
No, sadly. Glory, let it burn.
Birthdays.
It's your birthday today. What does that mean?
Wow. Happy 72nd birthday, excuse me, to Jim Lampley, American broadcaster, did Monday Night Baseball. Of course, I always remember it from boxing, the HBO boxing in the 80s and 90s. Man, a lot of these great names have passed away. So I come up on a name and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, man, that dude's gone. How about Terry Porter? He's still with us. And he's 58 years old. Say it ain't so. People don't remember, Terry Porter played for the Trailblazers. He was on those Trailblazers teams that went up against Michael Jordan in the finals. Lisa Guerrero, do you remember her?
I know the name.
All right. Well, she's from Chicago. She was an American broadcaster. She was like the next big hot thing. She was the first hot female sideline reporter that they put on Monday Night Football. And I don't really understand what happened. I've read some stuff on her recently, but I don't really grasp the whole thing as far as what happened to her. So I'm not going to repeat it because it's a little confusing, the articles I found. But she fell from grace. I'll just put it that way. She's 57 years old today. But she was like a bombshell that they put on the sidelines, right? I mean, we all know that everyone finds Aaron Andrews attractive, et cetera. Lisa Guerrero was a bombshell. It was like putting a Playboy model sitting there everyone was like, oh my God, ooh, this is awesome. That kind of opened the door to several of the others that are now, actually journalists. I wouldn't have called her an actual journalist, but she was nice and she was, I didn't have a problem with her, but I don't know if she was a quote unquote journalist. I'm sure there were a lot of female broadcasters that had resentment towards her. Felix Hernandez, by the way, he is 35 years old today. Of course, he's in the Baltimore Orioles organization. I haven't seen how well he's done so far, but I wish him well. Matt Harvey, I think, is pitching tonight. Whew, that's like going to a time portal.
Yeah, right.
Watching the rotation of the Orioles. What's your walk-off for the day, sir?
I mean, Justin alluded to everyone enjoy the Masters. It's a good day for that, but I'll be headed to Tampa. Hopefully see some
good luck.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Things are done. I'm going to say the right way down there. I'm happy to be in nice weather, not worry about all these, crazy people here in Chicago, and enjoy the Masters. It's going to be a fun one. We don't get this close timing as usual with everything. So yeah, baseball, Masters, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, my walk-off is, just soak it all in. The Masters, we didn't really get this last year. Yeah, we got it in November. It was so weird to have the Masters because you can't focus on the final round of the Masters when the NFL football was being played. So it was so weird to have that. I said back then they should have played the Masters on like a Monday through Thursday or Tuesday through Friday and just say to hell with playing on actual Sunday. So we will actually get a Sunday with the Masters. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be watching some baseball. The Braves are off, so I'm probably gonna check into. There's a couple of decent pitching matchups, and that's what I'm gonna be looking at today outside the Masters. Once that Masters broadcast begins at 3:00, I'm gonna be locked in on that. But Matt Harvey does pitch today. He's going against Eduardo Rodriguez. But if there's one baseball game that you want to lock into tonight, I think it's the Cardinals-Brewers game, 4:05 Eastern. It's Adam Wainwright versus Corbin Burns. That could be a lot of fun.
Yep.
So there you have that. I think your Cubs are off today, aren't they? Oh, no.
Jake Arrieta's on the mound.
That's right, Arrieta.
My boy.
That's right. So he should mow down the freaking Pirates. I don't even know if the Pirates are our Major League Baseball team,
especially without the rookie who had the home run in his first at bat and then was out from there. So Jake Arrieta looked good last time. Let's hope this time.
This is why we need relegation in sports in America.
Amen.
Because teams like the Pirates wouldn't exist if we had relegation. You let the Louisville Barnbirds, or whatever you want to call them, come up and take their place. I would firmly be for relegation. Take the worst team of each league out of the league every single year, so there'd be no tanking. You'd still get to draft your guy to rebuild your team down at the second level.
Right.
But get him the hell out of there. It's ridiculous. Jeez.
Manfred won't have anything smart to do.
And there's only 5 watchable teams in the NBA.
Terrible.
They should relegate half that league every year. see if the Jacksonville, I don't know, what are they called? The Sharks or something? See if they can put together a run. Anyways, we got to go. Enjoy Masters Day, and we'll see you tomorrow for Football Friday. More mock draft, and of course, we'll be talking the Masters.